Last pan. I'm gonna have to pause for a minute. My pump is getting buried in dirt. Yeah, that's not gonna work. We'll have to fix that real quick. Alright. So we'll just do a quick little cleanup of these top mats here. Talon mat has this section right here, and up inside of there it likes to hold on to stuff, so it's a little bit tricky to clean it out, but it's like the first thing it hits. It goes to here, and I feel like a good amount of the gold falls into that little section there. Flex it a little bit. That's good enough. Oh yeah, look. This one's already trying to float away on me. It's a good size. Let's push that back up toward the top. Alright. I think that's a piece of pyrite right there. Nice little piece of pyrite. And there's the gold. That's roughly like an hour and a half of shoveling. It's a good sized piece there. So we had a pretty successful test. Shit. See if I can get this thing, get the right view here. So it was a pretty successful test day. I didn't get to film much of it. The weather wasn't really cooperating with us. Got kind of nasty out here a couple of times. But the new way I locked in the sprocket on the motor took care of our chain alignment issues, and so the next thing will be working on getting shields and guards set up for around the sprocket to keep the grit out of the chain. That was really the only issue we had today. We shoveled for about an hour and a half before the weather started getting kind of bad. The kids were getting kind of bored. They were sitting around and just not having a good time, so we cut a little bit short. But it was a pretty successful test, and there's a lot more to come with this Trommel. And I'm pretty excited about it. It's going to be really cool. I'd like to get the high banker back out and do some more testing with that. I've got water flow issues on that one. I was running an 1.25 inch hose off a 4,700 gallon per hour pump, but I feel like with the long, it was like a 15-foot long hose, and it was downsized to like 1.25 inches. But I think we can go to 1.5 inches and get some more water flow out of it, and we'll do some testing with that. I was thinking about making an extension for it, and I like that high banker because I built it so it's real compact. I can fit it in a backpack and hike it pretty much anywhere that I feel like. It's super light. I think the whole unit weighs like 20 pounds. It's just really nice, and it's a lot of fun to run. So I'm thinking about adding an extension on that, and testing with a bigger hose to try to get more water flow out of it. Since it's double level, I feel like the top or the bottom level is getting more water flow than the top. So I want to start messing around with that a little bit too. But yeah, the Trommel ran good. It yeah. Let's get this off there. The Trommel ran pretty good. Its biggest issue now is that I'm getting, let me flip this around for you real quick. We're getting some grit. Some rocks and stuff are getting on here, and it's, what I've noticed is it's dripping out. It's dripping out of here, and it's coming onto the sprocket here, and as it spins, it's getting up into the chain and making the chain kind of so it wants to not seat very good. But I think really that's the biggest issue today. I kept grabbing onto the motor to make sure that it wasn't overheating, and it never really got to a point to where I could, where it got too hot for me to be able to keep my hand on it for a long period of time. So it did get warm, but it never got super hot. But there she is. One of these days we'll do a video, and I'll kind of just do a walkthrough of everything that I have going on with it, how I built it. You can see my welds are not that great. I'm not a welder, I just own a welder. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll do a cleanup when we get home. We'll do a full cleanup, and we'll see what we got. Okay, so we've got all our cleanup set up, ready to go. So we're gonna classify out a bunch of these big rocks into this bucket, and then run the rest, all the small stuff, over the micro banker. We've got it set up. It's right around
7 or 8 degrees. I'm pretty happy with that. Should run fine. Got jet dry in our water. And that's it. So we'll get started classifying real quick and then we'll fire up the micro banker. It's a 20 mesh screen. I got like the high planes ones and all that stuff, but this one is just so much faster. It's bigger. Okay, we're just going to pan through the bigs real quick. And let's see. And thinking nothing. I see some pyrite there. Hopefully you guys can see that. I got this new light that I think is working okay. I can't really see the camera to know. All right. Water flowing. All right, we're gonna try to get these bubbles out. Alright, here's the first scoop. Let's see what it looks like. Maybe a little more water. Very good. A little bit more. There we go, that looks better. Okay. Looks pretty good. They're dancing around. Nice. That's so crazy. Watch it. It's literally taking this material right here and watch it. It's jumping around and into there. You can watch it. It's crazy. Man, that's cool. See that? I mean, that's how they say this mat's supposed to work. That's cool. It's like going sideways. Sideways and backwards. Crazy. Cleaned up. Now we're gonna check out our seats here. Flip it inside out. Little piece of miner's moss up there under the little grizzly plate there. mat that I put in there underneath this moss here. That out. Down there. I'll start painting. Still trying to get used to doing this on camera, so sorry if it's looks a little funny. Alright, just about there. Alright, there it is. Not bad for like an hour and a half of shoveling before the weather decided to push us out. Cool.